Hey Dix from the Dark Imp here, helping parents to reclaim family time by playing board games together. Now today I want to show you something I've been playing around with a bit at home. These are buttons. What they do is they record your voice or any kind of sound up to 10 seconds and then play it back. Let me show you. So what do we want to record? Let's record the sound of somebody saying, oh yes, marvellous, for example. Let's try. So we push it down. Oh, that's absolutely marvellous. And then we switch it to play.
Oh, that's absolutely marvellous.
I don't know what the sound quality is like on playback. It's a bit tinny here in the room, but you can hear what I'm saying. So, okay, you can do the same sort of thing on your phone with much better quality. But there's something about the button, right? There's something about having a big button to press, which is quite charming and quite fun. And I've been experimenting with how we might use these when playing board games. So here are some ideas for you. Okay, the first idea is, when you're doing some sort of trivia game, like Trivial Pursuit, for example. If you get a question right,
Oh, that's absolutely marvellous.
whereas if you get a question wrong, I haven't got it turned on.
Ah, sorry. Not this time, old chap.
Oh, sorry, not this time, old chap. So the yellow button, yes, you got it right. The red button, no, I'm sorry. So that could work for Trivial Pursuit or something like Timelines, which is a game. In fact, there's lots of different versions of Timelines. It's quite a good game. You have lots of different events or inventions or discoveries, and they've each got a specific date associated with them, and you have to create a timeline. You have to put a card down, make sure it's in the right place. If it's in the right place,
Oh, that's absolutely marvellous.
if it's in the wrong place,
Ah, sorry.
not this time,
old chap.
Okay, second idea is you could use it in a board game to indicate that you're going into a new phase. So for example, in photosynthesis, which is a lovely game where you grow trees from seeds and they grow and grow and grow in 3D form, and then you cut them down to get points. And each turn, each round, the sun moves around the board. So you could have something to indicate the sun moving, like, oh, move that sun, which is a bit of a throwback to the Extreme Makeover Home Edition programme that we used to watch avidly as a family. Or you might have, for example, in the board game Shakespeare, twice in the game you have to put on a show. At least they call them the dress rehearsals. But those are the times when your actors, have to be sort of clothed and things like that, and you get points for that. So, I mean, in costumes, you get points for the costumes. They'll be in clothes anyway, but you get points for the costumes, and you get to move up on the central track. But the whole game is about getting points from these events. So you might have something that says, it's time to put on a show at those moments. Or you could use the buttons.
Ah, sorry. Not this time, old chap.
Didn't mean to press that. You could use the buttons to indicate that there's some sort of significant event going on. So for example, in the board game Pandemic, there are epidemic cards that are shuffled and placed at intervals within the deck of cards. And you really don't want to draw an epidemic card. You know you're going to, because they've been split into the pack. But when you draw an epidemic card, it triggers a chain of events which might cause problems for you on the board. So when you have an epidemic card, you could have something like, run for the hills, on one of these. Or maybe if you've played the card game Flux is just a ridiculous game, really, and it can be a bit never-ending. It can get to the point where you think this game will never end. There's no inbuilt definite game end to it, but it's absolutely ridiculous and it's quite fun. And it has the idea of Flux is that you start with one rule, which is pick up a card and play a card, and you end up picking up cards that change the rules. And the rules get more and more complicated and difficult to follow, and you're trying to achieve a goal, but the goals keep changing. And if you achieve a goal without holding a radioactive potato, for example, then you'll win the game. But every now and then you draw or somebody plays the rules reset card, which means all the rules get cleared off the table. So you could have a big sort of buzzer for when the rules are cleared off the table. Or you could use these for family catchphrases at board game time. So this is a bit niche because it relates specifically to my family. But our catchphrase for when we're dishing out cards, dealing out cards, I think this came from my grandmother or her mother. Or maybe her father, I don't know, some ancestor started saying when someone was dealing cards, you look like a missionary dishing out blankets. Everybody says it. Every single time cards are dealt, it's said. Nobody knows what this, it doesn't matter how you do it, you always look like a missionary dishing out blankets. So you could have that on your buzzer, so you don't even have to say it, you just press the button. Or maybe you could have like a catchphrase that you've taken from telly, like the Catherine Tate, am I bothered if you haven't managed to win? Or if someone's nicked something from you, stolen something from you, wrecked what you're doing, and you am I bothered? No, hit the button, am I bothered? Or you could create your own 10-second timer. Remember, there's only 10 seconds on these. You could get all family shouting a countdown into it. Or you could use these to signify a win, so you could get to press the button when you win at the end. And you could maybe you could ask Grandma to record something like, oh, that's wonderful, well done, dear. And so you could use it to signify a win. So I think they are kind of fun, a bit different, add to the interest of your board gaming maybe. Take one, re-record stuff on it, whatever game you're playing. Get 6 if you want. These came from an educational school supplies company called TTS, but you can also get them on Amazon. You can buy one bigger button. You can get them on Amazon. I think the bigger ones on Amazon cost about £5, or you can get sets of 4. So have a play, see what you think.